Against Shinde tonight, Smriti Irani of the BJP. For him, Asaduddin Owaisi of the All India Majlis-e-Ittihad al-Muslimin. Against him, Rahul Ishwar, social activist. For him, Ami Yagnik of the Congress Party. Against Shinde, I am told, though not sure, Aslam Ghani, senior advocate, has been with the NC. For him, Dr. Mehboob Beg of the NC. And for Shinde, Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party. The most surprising position being taken on the News Hour tonight is yours, Gaurav Bhatia, because I thought that at least the Samajwadi Party would have learnt its lesson. You tried to do something, didn't you? You tried to initiate proceedings to withdraw 198 criminal cases against Muslim individuals in your state. None of them happened to be a terror accused. At that point of time, you were ticked off by the Uttar Pradesh government. You tried to withdraw cases against two alleged Harkatul Jihad-e-Islami activists in jail for the serial blasts in district courts. You were ticked off by the Allahabad High Court. How then can you take a position defending what Shinde is trying to do? Gaurav.
Without even asking me, you have passed a verdict about, the statement that I'll be making. And what I want to say is that whatever Mr. Shinde has said right now is probably said because elections are near. Congress has been doing it in the past also. One of the senior ministers during the assembly elections spoke about reservation for Muslims just because the elections were near. Now they are talking about Muslim youth who are behind bars just because the elections are nearby. It is not based on any principles. Rather, it is based on convenience. For the Samajwadi Party, when decision was taken to withdraw cases, it was done because there were certain anomalies, and it was found that the police had misused and abused the provisions of CRPC and IPC. And when this was brought to the notice of the government, it was the duty of the government.
So when you do appeasement, you are sincere. And when you do appeasement, you are sincere. When the Congress party does appeasement, it is not. I get Smriti Irani into the debate. I'm opening up. These are first rounds. Smriti Irani, what's your take on Sushil Shinde? And have you overreacted by asking for his resignation?
Let me complete myself. Let me complete myself, Arnab, and then you can get in all the panelists. The point that I'm trying to make is that if the state government takes a decision to withdraw, it is important for you to understand that it has various levels of scrutiny. The first level in this case is the public.
It's a very simple thing. It's a very simple thing. The Constitution of India.
If you don't allow me to complete, how will I make the point? I know.
But you are not coming to the point.
And I'll talk about that also, and about. I am coming to the legal point if you permit me to speak, Arnab. Just the state government takes the decision because it has certain facts before it which shows that the investigation which has led to the arrest and the trial and the charge sheet that has been filed is not correct. Then there is a process in law. The first stage is when the public prosecutor examines it. If he is convinced...
So, one second, please, Gaurav, I know the process of law. Thank you very much. No, I know the process of law. Thank you very much. I know that you don't...
The most important part.
Politicians would... But don't tell me the prosecution process. Smriti wants to rebut you.
Then the debate can go on in the right... No, I am coming to the most important point where it has to withstand judicial scrutiny, without which no case can be withdrawn. That is very important.
Mr. Bhatia, problem is... The problem is...
to make a comment that the government has been ticked off by these...
Mr. Bhatia...
is unfortunate.
Mr. Bhatia, you see, you want to run with the hair...
They will decide after hearing our argument.
Mr. Bhatia, you want to, as the proverb goes, run with the hare and hunt with the hound. That's what you are doing here. I go to Smriti Irani. The Constitution of India guarantees all citizens the equality to right to equality before the law.
Yes,
Smriti, do you think the Home Minister has violated that?
Any case.
Smriti's turn.
Yes, all cases have been, many cases for other
Smriti Irani on why
falsely implicated with
Smriti Irani on why whether she's overreacting by asking for the Home Minister's resignation.
My response to your question is this, Arnab, and I would request everybody to indulge me for at least 2 minutes. in my response. You have rightly said that the Constitution, specifically Article 14 of the Constitution, says that the state shall not deny equality before law. Article 15 says that the state shall not discriminate on the basis of religion. And I think that a Home Minister who might be having some marginal knowledge of what the Constitution and CRPC is all about, deliberately indulged in a political stunt today. One, to hoodwink a particular community to show that they are sympathetic towards the community, knowing very well that the instruction that he seeks to give is bad in law and will not survive judicial scrutiny. I think there's another reason why I can subscribe to his political stunt. Everybody knows that every time Congress is in a corner with regards to issues which bring about public ire and wrath towards the Congress party, they do a deliberate attempt to change the headline. I would like to direct your viewers' attention to the fact that when a minister in the Congress-led UPA spoke about the fact that Indian Mujahideen didn't exist, just before that statement was given, Times Now and other channels were running very heated arguments about a statement made by Congress representatives stating कि 12 रुपए में 5 रुपए में पूरा पेट भर के खाना हिंदुस्तानियों को मिलता है. To change the direction of the headline, one communal card was played then. Right now, the entire country is...
No, is that your hunch? No, are you doing guesswork?
What his response
is that Smriti Irani's guesswork tonight?
May I finish? Allow me to finish. Arnab, your guess is as good as mine because even a 2-year-old MP like me knows that the instruction that the Home Minister is given is bad in law. I'm not a legal luminary, but I know it is bad in law and will not survive judicial scrutiny.
Okay. Now,
so the only reason why Mr. Shinde did what he did is that it is a political stunt to hoodwink a community. B,
but why?
It is also a deliberate attempt
why try to hoodwink a community? One second. Why? And let's be very clear here. Let's not keep saying community. Let's be very clear. You are saying hoodwink the Muslim community. Let's be very clear. You know, I don't believe in that level of political correctness.
I want to be absolutely clear that the Home Minister of the country knew that the instruction in the letter that he gives is bad in law. He knew that it violates the basic tenets of the Constitution, specifically violates Article 14 and 15. And in the knowledge of the same, he still went ahead and indulged in this political stunt.
So one second. So let's put a question here.
Absolutely no knowledge.
No, let's put a question here to Ami Yagnik and Asaduddin Owaisi. 1 second. Let's get the others in, then I'll open the debate. Gaurav Bhatia, 10 minutes to open the debate. Just be patient for 10 minutes. My question is, I see a hand go up, Mehboob Beg. Now, Mehboob Beg, Ami Yagnik and Asaduddin Owaisi. I put one question to you. Let's take it in turn. First, let's see if Ami Yagnik can answer it. There are 25,000... there are 2,54,857 under trials in the country. 66.2% of them are inmates. Right? Ami Yagnik, 69.9% of them are Hindu. If the Home Minister of India were to say that, Mr. Chief Minister in your state, please take great care that there should be no harassment of innocent Hindu youth by law enforcement agencies. What do you think the reaction would have been?
Arnav,
no, answer the question.
Look at the letter.
No, answer the question. The question is 69.9% are Hindu under trials. Now, I begin on a premise that I think it is blasphemous to divide those who are going through the legal system by religious groups, though Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi and others may want to play along with that. But if the Home Minister of India were to write a letter, Asaduddin Owaisi, you answer me, saying that the system, there is a growing feeling that Hindu youth are being deliberately targeted, that Hindu youth are being deprived their basic rights, that Hindu youth should not be harassed innocent Hindu youth by law enforcement agencies. What would Asaduddin Owaisi's reaction be?
Arnav, can I complete? You asked me a question.
You were dodging my question. Okay, complete. You can give the answer, then the same question goes to Mr. Owaisi.
Arnav, you have to see the letter because it is written after some data has been...
Yes. There are yes. So what?
A lot of representations have come to the central government, and the ministry, after having taken into consideration the representations and the data collected from across the country, has come to a conclusion that there should be some kind of communication
okay, great. So
to the
your
chief
government
minister of all the states.
Okay,
No. There are three words. You should look at the three words. Do not harass, do not persecute and target terror
Ami
cases.
Agnik, what are you
We are
saying?
not
Ami
talking
Agnik.
of
Ami Agnik,
69%
what are you saying? The
cases.
Batla House encounter is a classic example of playing up fears of persecution and victimization, despite the courts having found the encounter to be genuine. The NHRC, on the instructions of the Delhi High Court, investigated the matter, found the encounter to be genuine. The Delhi High Court upheld the report. You did politics over it, and you continue to do politics over it. Asaduddin Owaisi, do you have an answer if the Home Minister of India were to write a letter that, you know what? There is a feeling, something as subject, there is a feeling that Hindu youth are being persecuted. What would your response be?
Do you want me to answer? Or
I want you to answer. No, let him
Congress
answer. Let him answer. Let him answer. This question is to Mr. Owaisi now.
Mr. Arnab Goswami, you are a very learned man. Let me tell you that you must have heard the name Robert Martin. And Robert Martin has written the social conflict theory, in which he has said that social discrimination always happens with the minorities. Second point.
I know. One second. Am I discussing some? Are we in the academic discussion tonight?
No. Mr.
Are we in academic discussion tonight?
I would earnestly request you. No. Do you want me to complete? At least please show me the same courtesy and respect and patience which you have shown Raj Thackeray while interviewing him.
I wanted you to answer the question. Raj Thackeray answered my question, but Asaduddin Owaisi wants to dodge my question. Answer the question, Mr. Owaisi.
I know.
No, if you want to dodge the question. No, Mr. Owaisi.
Can you?
Mr. Owaisi, the question. You don't want to answer. You want to answer the question.
Allowing me to answer the first question which you have posed to me. See, either you give me a set of questions and please be quiet for a minute or two, or then you keep on, throwing questions at me.
So, Mr. Owaisi, 1 minute. One second. You said a few things, right? So let's get one thing.
This is your third question.
No, 1 second, Mr. Owaisi. Mr. Owaisi, don't be so restless. I have asked only one question, and I assure you, Mr. Owaisi, I've done the Newshour program for the last, many years. When I discuss a news story, I don't discuss academic theories. There are other channels you will find in our country where you may find, instead of the news story being discussed, you'll find academic discussions. People who watch the Newshour want a straight reply to a straight question. A straight question to you is this, and I repeat it for your information, that if the Home Minister of India were to write a letter that there is a feeling that Hindu youth are being targeted, and please don't target Hindu youth and do not allow this to happen, and ensure that Hindu youth are not targeted, how would you react? I see your hand go up. I hope that is for the straight answer.
Yes, I'll give you a very pointed and straight answer. Law does not discriminate on the lines of religion, number one. Number two, Article 21 is a right to life. Third point, you have empirical evidence, which I'm going to give it to you, which clearly shows that miscarriage of justice has happened with Muslims. Why I say that? Take Malegaon blast of 2006. Why I say that? Let me, Arnab Goswami, please let me complete. Why I say that? Makkah Masjid blast of Hyderabad. Why I say that? Because in Malegaon blast, the people who were accused were also jointly accused for 7/11. Why I say that? Because your own Times Now channel has shown Yasin Bhatkal and another accused doing a recce of putting a bomb in a train in Mumbai. I remember seeing Times Now. Mr. Arnab Goswami, you have clear-cut examples wherein
unlike you,
evidence has come out. Let me please.
No, unlike you.
Please allow me to complete.
No, but then I have to go to the others as well.
Allow me to complete. No, you don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear the truth.
The truth has two sides, and sometimes it is bitter.
What you are saying is the gospel.
No, Mr.
Sorry, we have not. You have not called us here to listen to your lecture.
Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi.